Not all every species of our kinds are humans. Some of our kind think they are humans. Some of our species think they are humans, but they are not. Some of us are just AI. We are not humans, but we think we are human beings. You ask her, she will say yes, I'm a male human. You ask him, he will say yes, I'm a male human. You ask her, she say I'm a female human, I mean to say. And you ask him, he will say I'm a male human. But yet we ain't human. Not all are humans. If you still live with the same program, if you have been in program with from the day you are born on earth to your very age, if you are still living with that program, with that same program, you are not a human. You are simply a AI in form of a human. Why do I say so? So many of us, we have been living based on the program we have been encoded with ever since the day we have been born. We live based on the commands, instruction our parents taught us, the society taught us, the schools taught us, the religion taught us to this very age, to this very of our present age. You live with these commands, with this program, with these instructions, with this orientation, government orientation, society orientation, family orientation, regional orientation. You live with it and you still call yourself a human until the day you start questioning the truth, until the day you start questioning the religion, the orientation you have been given from childbirth to your very age. That is when you start becoming a human. Until the day you debunk all the programs they are programmed you to live on. Until they begin to debunk all the programs you have been programmed with from your childhood, that is the day you start to become a human. But if you still live with the program you have been programmed to act upon, to believe upon, to act upon from your childhood to your very age, man, you are a fucking AI. You are a fucking AI. You're not a human. Humans, the thing that differentiates a human from a living AI or a living human AI is the way they think. They think outside the box. You believe outside the box. You believe differently. You believe opposites. You question the truth. You believe differently based on what you have been fed from your childbirth. What makes you a human is if you start to debunk, to reprogram, to deprogram yourself from the childhood orientation and start to reprogram yourself from your adult stage and start to reprogram yourself. That is when you start to become a human. Far back many years ago, our parents were told that nothing can fly on air. Nothing can go up and remain up. That anything that goes up must surely come down. Far many years ago, our parents, our grandfathers believed that they were living based on that orientation. But some group of men arise, think differently outside the box. That makes them a human. They didn't come to the earth and start living based on the belief, based on the theory that people were being fed on, that nothing goes up will remain up. Some group of men came to the earth, though they live by the program they've been fed upon, but at a long run, they debunk all those programs and reprogram themselves and reorientate themselves and start thinking, what can we do to manufacture something that goes up and remains up? And that's how they manufacture plane. And the narrative changes, the law changes, the theory changes. If you think you're a lawyer, that you know so many things based on you're a lawyer, man, I can tell you know no shit. If you think you're a doctor, I tell you know no shit. As far as you start to debunk the orientation that your school fed you with, that your religion fed you with, that your family fed you with, that society fed you with, government fed you with. If you're a doctor, you only know the method to heal malaria. You're a doctor, you only know the method to heal typhoid. You only know one method to heal an illness. You are a robot, because the method you know is the method you have been taught on. It's the method your lecturer taught you. It's the method your professor taught you. But have you think outside the box? What if I have a different method? That's what we call scientific research. And those that try the scientific research and succeed are those that think outside the box, that are real humans and not human robots. Before many years ago, there are only one method or few methods to teach to heal malaria. But now there are different methods. Even common malaria tablets, paracetamol, can clear off malaria. These are improved mindsets, improved humans that think outside the box based on what their lecturer taught them, based on what their school taught them, based on what their professor taught them. They think differently. What else can we do to know, to have another solution of doing something? That are those that are humans. If you believe based on what your school taught you, if you believe based what your society, your family, your government, the orientation they have programmed you into from your childbirth, if you still believe it, you are not a human. You are a human robot. But if you're a type that question truth, that question religion truth, question government truth, school institution, question their theory, and think differently, think outside the program you have been programmed to believe in, that is when you start becoming a human, and that is when you become a human. Many people live as human robots and not human. Only few live as a human. And those who live as a human are haters of those, or like say envy, how I'm going to say it. Those who live as a human are few, and those who don't live like a human, that live like a robot, when they perceive that you live like a human, a real God on earth, it becomes haters. They start hating. They want to be like you. They start admiring those that want to admire you, those that want to be like you. Start want to be like you. So if you want to be like a God on earth, think outside the box. Deprogram yourself from the program you have been programmed to live all the way since you were born. And start to reprogram. Start to reprogram your brain. Start to reprogram your mentals. Start to reprogram your thoughts. Start to rewire your behavior. Rewire your actions. Those that think they are professors of behavior psychology, you don't know shit. Because you believe based on theory a man introduced. One-way theory, one-way method theory a man introduced. Socrates, Aristotle, you still believe in those theories. Temperaments, you still believe that you can read human beings with those temperaments, with those 4 temperamental components. You still believe you can read a human being. If you still believe that, man, you know no shit. Human beings are very dynamic. We possess multiple temperaments, and we can act at any temperament based on situations. Humans don't possess one temperament, and humans don't possess one character. Humans act multiple temperaments based on the situation they find themselves. So if you think that based on the 4 components of temperament being introduced by the early philosophers is what you are still using to judge humans, man, you don't know shit, man. You are failed. If you still believe in those theories and come out and call yourself professor, lecturer in philosophy, or you know all about human behavior, man, you know no shit. Unless you start thinking outside the box, outside the philosophy you have been taught in school, outside the philosophy you have been made to believe all these years. Think differently and you become a human. Still think like every other person that have the orientation from their family, grow with the orientation and still believe in the orientation. Man, you are a human robot. You are a human robot. That's my message, man. Peace out.